Hello and welcome to Meilen on the banks of Lake Zurich for the 5th and final round of the EKZ CrossTour, the 37th edition of the Meilen cyclo-cross race here, back to its traditional route down here on the athletics track. Thanks for joining me, Marty MacDonald, in the commentary box today, and alongside me, 6-time Swiss cyclo-cross champion Christian Heule. And after a great women's race that we've had, we have a thrilling race ahead of us. Great cyclo-cross conditions, and Christian rode the course yesterday with Simon Zana, one of his old racing buddies, and Simon was in no mood to hang around. This is the start. We head out of the athletics track before turning right into what is quite a technical section. Lots of little 180 bends and some exposed tree roots as well. After all the exposed racing that we've had, we do have rain here this afternoon in Meilen. It's then onto this little bark track. You just saw Simon there just hopping on the railway sleepers, and then it's on to the grass before we head into, again, another technical section. We've got some planks, and we've seen some riders managing to bunny hop them earlier on today, but the rain through the course of today's racing has made that more difficult as the racing's gone on. We then get into this very, very steep climb, and it starts to rise here on the grass, and we saw in the women's race, it's becoming harder and harder to ride this grass. You have to kind of choose this right-hand position before it's onto the gravel and then onto the asphalt for what is a very, very tough climb. It's about 20% on the back of the course. You can see Simon Zana here really having to work hard to get to the top of this climb, but it makes for a breathtaking run back down towards the arena as we have a very, very steep technical descent to come. It has been slightly changed from yesterday, and you see Simon here just dropping in, and it snakes its way down the hillside. It's very, very bumpy as well. It's been made a little bit longer on that section, and then again snakes its way down towards the final twists and turns. It's off camber as well. A lot of riders struggling to stop themselves really sliding out on that section, back onto the gravel, through the houses, and then it's back in onto a very snaking section in towards the finish. And this bark as well, it's a bit of a running track, and you can see Simon here, he beautifully bunny hops from side to side. But if we get a group coming in towards the finish, and as we get towards the athletics track as well, we could have some real fights coming in towards the finish of the men's elite race here this afternoon. Simon was really pushing it to the limit. It's going around here probably, as Christian will tell us in a moment, close to race speed, but you can see very tight again in towards the final straight around the top of the athletics track, and then it opens up for the finish. So we could have some real some fights as we've had previously here in the EKZ Tour. But that is the course. You can see the slightly modified descent. And Christian, after yesterday and after the junior race, and with the rain falling, the organisation have just taken the steps to just make that top section just a little bit longer.
Yeah, the descent is now a little longer, makes it, I would say, a little less dangerous as it was before. It was like a drop-in before, and now we have at least kind of a straight before, with its off-camber twice, but and around the tree there, it's very steep again and bumpy. But I guess it makes it easier to ride as it was before. Before it was really just if you're brave enough or not.
And in terms of the course as well, we've got a great field ahead of us. Let's hear from some of today's favourites.
Yeah, I would say main favorite is for sure Marcel Wildhaber. He's the GC leader of the EKZ CrossTour. Then we have Simon Zahner, the two Swiss guys, but also the mountain bikers like Florian Vogel or Lukas Flöckigers are in good shape and always getting ready for the nationals, which are only in a week from now. But also the foreign riders like Francis Mouret or like the Belgian Dieter van Turnhout are some of the contenders for today's race, and then we have the Italian rider really Bertoli, which is for sure one of the favorites. He's going crazy in the descents, makes it hard for the others if he gets down without a crash.
So let's hear from some of, we managed to catch up with a few of our favourites for today's race. Let's hear from them now.
Simon Zahner, gerade auf der Entdeckungsrunde, auf der Besichtigungsrunde, was sind die Erkenntnisse von der Strecke, wo es jetzt recht nass ist?
Ja, es ist extrem viel schwieriger als gestern. Gestern haben wir jede Kurve noch voll reinhaben und hat Grip gefunden. Und jetzt ist alles wirklich so voll auf der Messerschneide.
Du fährst in der Farbe vom EKZ Racing Team, EKZ CrossTour, VC Meilen. Es ist ein absolutes Heimspiel. Was macht das für dich aus, vor Heimpublikum zu fahren?
Ja, du hast es gesagt. Also es spricht eigentlich jeder Grund dafür, dass man irgendwie noch ein bisschen nervöser ist und ja, dass noch ein bisschen mehr alle wollen, dass du gut fährst. Und ja, also ein bisschen probieren auszublenden oder als Motivation zu nutzen, aber nicht als Druck.
Der Schlüssel zum Erfolg gegen die starke Konkurrenz?
Ja, sehr viel Gefühl, weil die Strecke ist wirklich gestern noch extrem hart und heute ist sie sehr hart, aber du kannst in jeder Kurve einfach überreagieren.
Merci vielmals für den Erfolg. Merci. Marcel Wildhaber, letzte Minute vom offiziellen Training. Was für ein Gefühl dabei?
Dabei eigentlich gut. Sonst habe ich mich jetzt noch nicht ganz so wohl gefühlt. Ich habe erst eine Runde gemacht und es ist extrem rutschig jetzt mit dem Regen. Unten ist es eigentlich noch hart, aber oben drauf brutal schmierig. Und man muss jetzt noch mit dem Luftdruck schauen, möglichst tief, dass man wirklich möglichst viel Grip noch bekommt. Ja.
Die eine Sache ist die technische Sache, die andere sind Konkurrenz. Es sind 47 Punkte Vorsprung in der Gesamtwertung. Welches sind die gefährlichen Männer? Ja,
der Simon Zahner ist der erste Verfolger. Ich weiss, wenn er gewinnt, muss ich mindestens 8. werden. Dann habe ich den Gesamtsieg. Und von dem her habe ich das sicher im Hinterkopf. Aber ich will eigentlich schon auch ein gutes Rennen fahren. Und sicher ist nichts. Heute wird es ein paar Stürze geben. Es kann schnell ein Defekt passieren oder so etwas. Und von dem her ja, einfach Gas geben und es geniessen probieren ein bisschen.
Viel Erfolg.
Merci.
Dieter van Turnhout, first of all, Happy New Year. Welcome in Switzerland again. How was your trip from Belgium to here?
Thank you. Good. I have sleeping tonight in Strasbourg, so I just arrived. So I see the big mountain behind me. So I'm a little afraid, but I hope I had good legs today, and we will see.
In Eschenbach, our last race, you had a big disappointment. You started as the leader, you had 2 mechanicals and you stopped. Now you are in the overall, not in the position to win. What's your goal for today?
First of all, I want to ride a good race. I have looked to the classement and maybe I can be in 3rd place. So that's my goal today, a good race. And maybe I can take Mouret in the classement.
You say Francis Mouret, he's one who is fighting against you. Who are the other names you think they are here to win?
Big favorite is Clément Venturini, I think. And also the Swiss riders. I think Zahner and Wildhaber are also good this year. So it's going to be a big battle.
Okay, by the way, it's one less because Venturini is not here today. He is sick. So you have one chance more to win. Good luck.
Thank you. It's good news for us.
Thanks.
Florian Vogel, wir sind hier in Meilen. Was hast du vorgenommen für heute? Hauptprobe zur SM oder lässt du es rollen?
Ja, ich bin nicht 100% gesund und werde darum einfach gut durchkommen. Ich sehe ein gutes Training im Hinblick auf die Schweizer Meisterschaft in einer Woche und fahren aber nochmal ein Rennen am Mittwoch in Deutschland. Und von dem her ist es noch nicht die Hauptprobe, aber ich probiere sicher so schnell wie möglich zu fahren.
Auf der Strecke nehme ich an, bist du schon so. Was meinst du zu der Abfahrt? Harakiri oder ist gut zum Fahren? Einigermaßen machbar?
Ja, es war eigentlich cool. Jetzt ist es nochmal umgesteckt worden. Jetzt ist es ihnen noch ein bisschen einfacher. Und ist sicher cool, gibt sicher spannende Bilder.
Was erwartest du vom Rennen? Podest als Ziel oder wirklich einfach durchziehen ohne Crash?
Ja, für mich ist es schwierig zu sagen. Vor einer Woche bin ich recht gut gefahren, eher stärker als ich erwartet habe. die Form, denke ich, ist recht gut für Anfang Januar. Aber ist halt recht stark besetzt und ja, ich habe auch nicht gerade die beste Startnummer, darum muss ich auf einen guten Start hoffen und darauf, dass es vielleicht auch vorne ein bisschen taktisch ist, aber mal schauen.
Ich habe gesehen, du hast einen Haufen Schwellentraining gemacht in letzter Zeit. Ich nehme an, das wird dir helfen heute. Es ist nicht so ein Rennen, wo man wahnsinnig spritzig muss sein, aber einfach durchziehen. Hast du das im Hinblick auf die SM so gemacht oder ist das rein nur im Blick auf die Mountainbike-Saison?
Nein, das ist wirklich vor allem für eine Mountainbike-Saison. Wobei eben, wenn man halt so trainiert, wie ich das mittlerweile mache, dass man eigentlich das ganze Jahr Intensitäten einbaut. Und ich trainiere recht viel an den Schwellen und das ist etwas, was einem natürlich dann auch im Winter an den Wettkämpfen gut kommt, weil man halt, denke ich, ja, näher an dem ist, was man kann leisten kann, auch unter Topform. Und ja, ist so ein bisschen der neue Weg, wo halt mittlerweile trainiert wird. Und ich denke, das ist sicher hilfreich für Wettkämpfe, die dann außerhalb der Saison liegen.
Also, dann wünschen wir viel Glück, Florian Vogel, heute in Meilen.
Danke vielmals.
Christian will summarise the interviews for you a little bit later. But here is our start list for you. Francis More is wearing number 2. Clement Venturini, who was going to be wearing the number 1, sadly having to pull out. Sascha Weber, Simon Zana, Marcel Wildhaber, Gioele Bertolini, Martin Haring, Amelius Gill, Ludmir Petrus, Wojciech Nippel, and Dieter van der Torentout. We also got Steve Chanel. And we'll just go down, we'll pick out Lucas Winterberg, Matej Lafag, Severin Sagesser, Brian Falaski, Lucas Flugiger, of course, Florian Vogel as well, got to pick out him, Marco Bianco, Andreas Moser, and then going down through our list, Michael Wildhaber there as well, Johan Jacobs, got to pick out the young Swiss rider there as well, Lars Forster is another rider that's Christian's pointing out to watch out for today.
Yeah, Lars is a very talented mountain biker, Swiss guy. He is in good shape. He looks always good in the descents when it's crazy going down. I expect something to see from him as well as from Lukas Fürkiger. He's not young anymore, but he is definitely going to be in good shape at least next week.
So we'll just go along the start. So Francis Murray, of course, changing teams for today, a vital concept. The first outing, we saw Ava Lechner earlier in the colours of Lunatics. Then there's our series leader, Marcel Wildhaber of Scott Odlow, he's in the green jersey. Simon Zana of EKZ. And then you have Sascha Weber, is the next rider. You have Gioele Bertolini, is Celitalia Gucciotti. Steve Chanel is the next rider on the start. And then next rider, number 7, Martin Haring. And then number 11 is Wojciech Nippel. He is the rider on the extreme left. So we're getting ready for the start of the 5th and final round of the EKZ Cross Tour. Thanks for joining us here today. We'll be bringing you this race in its entirety. Around 60 minutes of racing around what is just over a 2.6 kilometer circuit. You've seen from our pre-ride, it is testing. The rain is falling. We have full-on cyclo-cross conditions here in Switzerland for you here today. The countdown is underway. We are under starters' orders. And we are away. The deciding round of the EKZ Cross Tour. Marcel Wildhaber in the green, streaks away from the start. Simon Zana of EKZ is just 47 points behind him in the general classification. And we're about to get to this very, very tight right-hander at the end of the athletics tag. Christian, this is an all-important section if you want to win this race.
Yeah, the riders are lining up now, going to the first off-road section here. We're going to see if they are able to still ride the corners or if they need to go down from the bike running. Next corner will be the one to see. Marcel is taking no risk here, running instead of riding.
So Marcel Wildhaber just choosing to jump off and run through the section. Again, it looks it's getting a little bit more cut up as the racing is going on. The tree roots are starting to become a little bit more exposed. It's quite off camber as well. Again, it switches as we go, and we're going to go out, and we got a rider down quite heavily. We got a crash there on the left. Let's see who's gone down if we can. I'll give you the top 10 overall in the EKZ CrossTour. So we said, so Marcel Wildhaber leading with 275 points. Simon Zana with 228. Francis Moret with 198 is in third. Dieter van Torentout is fourth with 197. Severin Sagesser is fifth with 182. Steve Chanel is fifth with 179. He's in the cross team by G4. Gioele Bertolini, Clement Venturini, David van der Poel and Clement Russo. That is the top 10. But look, as Steve Chanel here streaking away from the start. Great start by the Frenchman.
Yeah, he just catched Marcel Wildhaber, and he's really hammering through the pit area, the first pit area, now coming to the first barrier section. And yeah, he's jumping. Same for Marcel Wildhaber. Simon Zahner as well, just behind them on third position.
And you're saying after the pre-ride yesterday, Simon Zahner, not normally someone that likes to jump the barriers, but he's kind of being forced into it there.
Yeah, yesterday it was way more bumpy as it is today, so that's probably why he decided to jump today and not running like yesterday. It's now on the very hard uphill here. The beginning is only slight climbing, and then it's really from the bush there. It's really steep, going steeper and steeper until the tarmac section.
Steve Chanel just managing to find himself some traction on the right there as Marcel Wildhaber just loses the wheels. They slide out from underneath him. So Steve Chanel just taking that right-hand line. That was favoured a lot in the women's race by the riders that managed to ride that full section. But you can see here most riders being forced off and running. So nice ride in there as well. Fabian Obrist goes through there. The previous round, Marcel Wildhaber, as we said, leading with 275. It was quite a battle between him and Bertolini at the finish.
Yeah, they had a very tight finish in Eschenbach. I don't expect to have it that tight here. The riders are now in the tarmac uphill, which is not captured by cameras, but I see them already almost at the top of the climb, so it's only taking a couple seconds until they are live from the camera again.
So let's have a rerun of our starts, and the riders just streaking away from the start. Marcel Wildhaber, as we said, just opting to get off and run, but Steve Chanel is already on the descent and taking this a longer section in his stride, and this is where it can become a little bit more difficult.
Yeah, Chanel in the lead. You could see in the last picture the rain is coming up again, pretty hard rain now, and we see lots of crashes from our position. Chanel now takes the secure way and is running the descent, while Francis Moret is riding it, but his face doesn't look like being too easy there, but he's still riding, and you see he catched up about 30 meters in just about the double of riding.
Francis Moret is managed to take the lead from his fellow countrymen. But if you look at riders down here back, but you look at some of the World Cups Francis Moret has won, such as Namur, right up on the Citadel. These are the sort of descents that cyclo-cross rider like Moret just takes in his stride.
Yeah, Moret got older the last years as well, so he's probably not that quick anymore out of the corners as in the past, but he's definitely one of the most powerful riders in the peloton, and once he's going well, his motivation is still there, and his experience to win races is definitely the biggest from all the riders here in competition.
So you can see the two Frenchmen, so Chanel and Moret And this is some of the crash, some of the one of the BMC riders just going down. So just while we get through this section, just summarise some of our interviews that we had at the beginning from a couple of our favourites, Simon Zahner and...
yeah, Simon Zahner pointed out it's really his home race. He's racing for the EKZ racing team. It's the race from the EKZ CrossTour, and it's his home race. He's from the hometown club, Velo Club Meilen, and he pointed out that yesterday it was just hard and difficult in the descent, and today it's not only hard in the uphill but also crazy dangerous in the downhill. And he also pointed out he's for sure nervous because of this hometown being hometown favorite. Lots of people is at the course for him. But he's excited and is very much looking forward and hopes to gain a little power out of the pressure which is on him.
So Francis Mouret now just heading back in towards the athletics track for the end of lap 1, and we'll be able to get an idea on our lap times as Mouret comes around. So he's on to the athletics tap, just takes himself a little opportunity to glance across at Chanel, but the gap's still fairly small at the moment. So we'll count everyone through. He's just heading up towards the finish line this time, so you can see from the start, as we come back round on the second loop, everything is reversed. So Mouret goes through the start-finish line. He's followed across the line by Steve Chanel. And we'll get time gaps, so just 5 seconds. And then a gap back to a group containing Clement Rousseau of Team Pro Bike Shop, Marcel Wildhaber, Simon Zahner, and Dieter van Turentout. Gioeli Bertolini goes through, so they're just 10 seconds. Then at 13 seconds, we've got a gap back to Wojciech Nippel, Thomas Papriska, Severin Sages, Johan Jacobs, and Florian Vogel as 24 seconds down at the moment. So looking good. Florian Vogel doing a good ride up there at the moment as well, 24 seconds off the lead.
Yeah, and Mura is on his style as in his best times. Just smooth around the corners and then pushing the pedals again as hard as possible, not watching back, just riding his own thing here.
So a little hand sling off the corner there by Wojciech Nippel. Goes through there. So this is as we said, this is the 37th edition of this race. First held on back in 1934, was held up on the hillside. It's now come back down, and there was a time in the early 90s where the New Year's Cross in Meilen had a habit of giving us a world champion straight after. About a month later in 91, it was Thomas Frischknecht who won in Gieten. It was then 92 Daniele Pontoni, who took the amateur title in Leeds, then Henrik Dernies in 93 in Corva, and then Dieter Runkel in 95, so 4 out of 5. So great history and a good luck charm for some riders.
Yeah, and we had Swiss national championships here as well, twice. I was in one of those races too, finished only second.
Tell us a little bit about that.
I can't tell too much, it's too far away.
History is history, as they say.
Yeah.
Francis Mouret this time opting to run the planks. And so just give you an update on the EKZ CrossTour so far. So we started in Baden in round 1, and that was taken by Laurent Sviek. So we've had quite a lot of the Belgian riders coming down. As you see, Dieter van Turentout is here and opting as well to come down and race some of the Swiss races. Francis Mouret favours a lot the Swiss races rather than racing in Belgium with his preparations for World Cups. So round 1 was taken by Laurent Sviek ahead of Philippe Valsleben with Mouret in 3rd.
So Francis is running all the way up now. It's like a 20-meter run up now. Coming onto a little part of gravel, it makes it hard to not get too many rocks in his cleats. Chanel almost on top with riding, rest of the bunch running.
Zahner going through your picture there for EKZ, Bertolini. And then you're looking at the green there, Wildhaber. Van Turentout tried to run ride for as long as possible. Is that
and
Lars
we have
Forster managing?
Severin Segesser, Florian Vogel, Timon Rieck, the BMC mountain bikers, all there with Fabian Lienhardt, former EKZ Racing Team rider, now in BMC colors.
Do you think, as well as mountain bikers, it's quite a course that might suit them?
I guess so. It's quite steep uphill, which should suit the mountain bikers well, and then the downhill, the descent is really more a downhill than a descent. It's quite crazy going down there. It should be good for the mountain bikers, but it's really big difference handling a cross bike over these bumpy sections compared to a mountain bike, or maybe even a full suspension mountain bike. Slippery there, and you can see how much rain we have now. Murray is doing his thing as on his best times, going smooth and powerful. Descent.
Here's Murray looking great, as I said. We'll just bring up to speed the other round. So Murray third on round 1. He was also third on round 2 in Deelsdorf, which was taken by Clement Venturini ahead of Dieter van Torentout. In Hitnau, it was David van der Poel took it ahead of Sascha Weber, with Simon Zahner in a third, and then Marcel Wildhaber, Gioele Bertolini and Michael van Torentout. So at the top of the climb, we'll just give you a rundown of our top 10 here at the moment. 17-second gap and a big off there by Wojciech.
And also Simon Zahner just crashed. Gioele Bertolini crashed as well. You see, it's so slippery there. Almost looks like it's a nice Simon Zahner here. Bertolini already on his running, and Nipple here almost face planted.
So riders on these off-camber twists and turns here, but so as we say, proper cyclo-cross conditions. That's cross, isn't it? As we all say as cross riders.
Yeah.
I'll just give you a rundown of our top 10, the way it was sitting at the top of the climb. Murray ahead of Bertolini, Wojciech Nippel, Simon Zahner, Thomas Patriska, Dieter van Torentout, Clement Rousseau, Steve Chanel, Marcel Wildhaber and Severin Sagesser. Johan Jacobs is up there as well. Florian Vogel just outside the top 10 in 12th. Lars Forster, Timon Rueg and Fabian Lienhardt. That's the top 15 at the moment, the way things are. But Murray is lapping, as they are really quick here. It's with that real steep climb in the back, is taking it in his stride.
Yeah, as I said before, he's still one of the most powerful riders, and he was always a specialist of muddy courses. These courses really suits him great. Doesn't need to be as quick, acceleration doesn't have to as quick as possible anymore out of the corners as in the past. So for him, it's really seems to be a great course. He's coming to the athletics track again, accomplishes his second lap. Quite a big advantage for him.
Murray coming around. So Murray, as there is still an outside chance that Murray could take the title overall if Marcel Wildhaber had a shocker at the back end of this race. So we've just got somebody who's done a little bit of math. If Murray wins, Wildhaber must take the 23rd place to get the 24 points to give him the lead by 1 point. So that's the way things pan out. But Wildhaber still at the back end of this group, being led through by Zahner.
The group led by Simon Zahner and Francis Murray is doing very consistent laps. He had 7:14 now and had a 7:16 the lap before, so very consistent lap times from him, and very big group just behind with 7 riders all the way down until 8th position.
Just as well, if you want to interact with us in the commentary box or keep track of some of the great stuff that the race organiser are putting out on Twitter at EKZ CrossTour. That's at EKZ CrossTour. You can interact with myself, Marty MacDonald, or Christian Heule alongside me in the commentary box. So there's some great stuff on there. There's some great maths that the guys are doing as well. So you can get on there and say hello to us here this afternoon. It's going out around the world.
Yeah, and they have also a competition to win some jerseys and caps and other stuff from Dieter van Tourenhout on the EKZ CrossTour Twitter account and on Facebook.
And as well, we've got to mention that if people are confused, we've got a lot of changes in jerseys. Francis Moret changing teams, but for the likes of Dieter van Tourenhout, it's now Marlux Napoleon games as well. They're now in this light blue. We're used to seeing the team of them and Kevin Powell's in the red. It's become quite a traditional colour. They're now in the light blue. So just a change of sponsor for them this year.
Yeah, they have a sponsor change. Marlux probably has more blue in their logo.
Moret in control over the planks here. So again, on this course, you can see the real technical nature of this course. The gap going through the previous lap was 25 seconds for Francis Moret over Simon Zana. And the gap really back is still within 30 seconds within those top 8 riders, and only 38 seconds back to Johan Jacobs and Florian Vogel. So on this course here, Christian, it's still, you know, anybody's game, isn't it? Because a problem on any part of this circuit, and 25 seconds, you know, in cross terms can disappear.
Yeah, it's one bad crash on any place of the courses, and most of it is gone from the time gap. Francis Moret also is probably on his first race with a disc bike. I never saw him before on disc bike, but the team change maybe also gave him the possibility to ride with the disc bike now. We see here different tactics to head towards the end of this run up or ride up. Nipple is doing great while running and riding, and the others all riding here, running. Marcel Wildhaber losing a little time here. Florian Vogel is catching up, seems just to be there with the others. I suppose he will close the gap in the steep tarmac uphill.
So a lot of choices here, and Severin Sagesser as well was looking good as well. So looking good. Marcel Wildhaber. I had a good chat with Wildhaber yesterday, and he was saying, I was having a chat with him about the World Cups. We've seen him in the World Cup circuit over the years, and he was just saying that he's going to concentrate a little bit more on his cyclo-cross moving forward, and he thinks maybe racing full-on mountain bike series in the summer isn't the best thing for his cyclo-cross racing. So he said to me yesterday that and Moret is down on the descent, and this is just what we said. Francis Moret on that tight turn, and that little off there by Francis Moret. We'll see if anyone manages to take advantage of that mistake.
I think they can close the gap a little. They are now on 29-30 seconds, the big group behind Francis Moret. I think maybe 5-7 seconds closer now, but still he is still looking good, and at least halfway smooth there. Slipping around a little is just normal in these conditions.
So one little off there on that descent by Francis Moret, the first small mistake we've seen by the Frenchman so far.
Yeah, Francis Moret seems to have a little problem to get back in his pedals there after the descent. Oh, another crash from Simon Zana. Bertolini is really doing great this time in the descent, going quite fast.
So the 20-year-old Italian, Gioele Bertolini, rides for the Sellitalia Guerciotti team. So 7th in the recent U23 World Cup in Zolder, 2 times the national junior cyclo-cross champion, 2nd in the under-23 World Cup in Namur as well. So a lot of excitement around the young Italian as well. Because do with another young Italian cyclo-cross champion.
Yeah. who knows? Always surprising what Marco Aurelio Fontana doing for cyclo-cross nationals in Italy. If he is there, he's definitely one of the biggest contenders. If not, the race is wider open for sure. See Frosty Murray going into the Vita parkour section. It's a section which is the ground is made out of wooden parts to make it softer for running around here.
I think for me, just seeing Murray, I love watching Francis Murray when he goes like this. I think when he won in his last World Cup in Namur, you know, if you look at his career, he's had 10 times French national cyclo-cross champion, 4 World Cup victories. He's had 107 career victories, Francis Murray. So maybe we're seeing the 108th here today in the colours of his new team.
Yeah, he's one of the most winning, or he was one of the most winning riders in the past. I was up there also one time with like 14 or 16 UCI wins in one season, but he is like did that almost every year in the last 10 years. So he's really going to be one of the guys with the most UCI victories in the career.
So Francis Murray crosses the finish line this time, and he's shown the lap board with 5 laps to go this time. 5 laps to go for Francis Murray.
Total of 8 laps for the riders. He's now on a 7:30 lap, so 15 seconds slower than the last 2 laps. It's still going good. Bertolini here coming next with Simon Sana trying to catch up.
Gioele Bertolini of Celitalia Guerciotti is forcing Simon Zana and Wojciech Nippel to work rehard. Steve Chanel still giving chase, just 3 seconds off them, but it's a 27-second time gap back from Francis Murray to Gioele Bertolini when they were showing 5 laps to go. So we'll just give you a rundown of the top 10 the way proceedings stand at the moment. Francis Murray of Fortineo Vital Concept leading for Gioele Bertolini of Celitalia Guerciotti, Simon Zana of EKZ Racing Team, Wojciech Nippel of Pusinac.cz, Steve Chanel of Cross Team by G4, he's in 5th. Thomas Papriska of the Express Sireb Merida team, he is in 6th. Sasha Weber of Champion System is 7th. Florian Vogel is in 8th. Then you have Dieter van Turenhout of Marlux Napoleon Games, and then in 10th, Lars Forster of the BMC Racing Team. So that is your top 10 standings here in Meilen for the final round of the EKZ CrossTour here at the moment. So we're having a look at the moment to see where Wildhaber is in the standings at the moment.
He's not on the list anymore. He probably had a big problem there.
So we're looking for
anyway, we have a gap of 27 seconds from Frosty Murray to Bertolini, and then we have 7 riders within 15 seconds only in between those riders, which makes it very interesting to see for the next upcoming laps.
Murray puts the pressure on once again, and this really bodes well going on.
Yeah, Frosty Murray seems to have a camera on his seat.
We should get a little feed from that.
Maybe he wanted to capture his competitors, but can't because he's 27 seconds ahead of them.
It would have been good at the start. Maybe we'd have tapped into that stream. Maybe we'll have a chat for next time.
He's running again, and I hope he doesn't miss to clean up the lens from the camera on his seat.
Yeah.
Very exposed position for a camera in such a muddy race.
It is. So as you can see again, riders having to change the bikes, and now onto the Look bike of the Fortineo Vital Concept team. And as Christian said, on to disc brakes now. It's always been something of a traditionalist. Bertolini the young Italian, dismounts there. Chanel is running nicely onto the back, and also Simon Zana, who, as I said earlier, I now have a personal contract with Simon Zana to be able to call him Simon Zana.
I still call him Simon, but you got the permission to call him Simon.
As many people around the world know, he is actually pronounced Simon Zana, and I said, you know, it's Simon in places. What should we call you? And he did tell me I'm allowed to call him Simon Zana. So check his Twitter as well for Simon Zana, and you'll be able to follow him. So looking back here, so that was one of his crashes, a couple of double crash that we had a little bit earlier. This is More as well, just controlling that little double slide there that he had, and this is what happens as well.
Nico Brünker, one of the roadies in the cyclo-cross, struggles also, this rider, barely able to run this descent.
And sometimes when the feet are going out from under you, the best thing you can do is lean into the hill, isn't it?
Yeah.
I was always taught that running downhill, that the best thing you can do is lean into the hill, not away from the hill. And Murray is down again, a little dab there by Francis Murray, and that top section again, that was where it was leveled off a little bit.
Same place as the lap before, but I guess he's not really out of focus just because of this little slippery thing there.
I think that's what there was one thing that we were saying yesterday, and a lot of chat is, if you make a mistake in a race such as this, the main thing is not to panic, isn't it? Because sometimes if you're on the back foot and you are crashing and you are making a mistake, it's going to happen on a course. The main thing is just not to panic, isn't it?
No panic in a race is always the best you can do. Just staying focused, staying calm, and keeping your mind where it has to be is definitely one of the main strengths a good rider needs to have. But makes it also easier with experience. With more experience, it's definitely easier to stay calm in a race, even in very bad positions. Bertolini again going down pretty well, Simon Zana running, Steve Chanel riding. We are seeing different styles of coming down. I think some riders' head is already the Swiss national championships, or like their national championships held in a week, or tomorrow in a week, which are important for most of them, at least for the big contenders. Johan Jacobs here, Dieter van Turnhout, both close together.
So I'm just getting a little correction as well. It's Choile. Choile. My apologies. My Italian, I should give myself a collective slap on the back of the head for my pronunciation. So Choile. I hope that's better for our Twitter man. So Francis Murray comes around once again. So as we said, get onto the Twitter feed. Loads of competitions at EKZ CrossTour. Loads of competitions. You can win that jersey of Dieter van Turnhout. And that new Marlux Napoleon Games jersey. We're coming around at this time. Francis Murray is going to get 4 laps to go. Beautifully off and on there, the track.
Just got some backside information from Marcel Wildhaber. He is out. He's out of the race after a crash. He had rumors about ankle injury, possible, not confirmed yet, but of course bad for him because of losing the GC overall in only the last race of the series.
That's a disaster for Marcel Wildhaber. Not the way anyone would want to see the series leader go out. And again, he was really pushing it to the limit, and that again potentially here. Murray is sitting in 3rd place at the moment, so it's going to come down if Wildhaber is out, as they've said, then it comes down to a battle here. Simon Zana 2:28, so it's about the backup team for Zana as well, getting that information to him to put as few places between him and Murray ahead of him. But here comes Gioele Bertolini through the start and finish line this time. Zana right behind him, so Zana is tracking him strongly. Sasha Weber is with him with Steve Chanel. And then a little gap back to the next group.
Florian Vogel here. Nice to see here. Francis Murray is 15 years older than Joele Bertolini.
Yeah, I mean, still 35 years young is Francis Murray. And good to see Florian Vogel here. And Vogel is riding on strongly as well. Florian Vogel now up to sixth place, the Focus rider, and he's been national cyclo-cross champion, and he's been European mountain bike champion. Sorry to remind you of that one. I'm told I'm not supposed to remind you that he's been Swiss cyclo-cross champion. Sorry about that. But you know, look at him back, his fantastic career, World Junior Mountain Bike Champion he's had as well. So and recent victory as well. So he, you know, the mountain bikers are coming back strong here.
He's only 14 seconds behind of a podium position now, and the race is still long. We still have 4 laps to go, so only half of the course accomplished.
So just to give you an update of where we are at the moment, so Murray leads by 27 seconds ahead of Bertolini. Zana is in third, Weber is in fourth, Chanel, Vogel, Paprska is seventh, Forster is eighth, Sargesser is ninth, Nippel is 10th, Van Turenhout 11th, Jacobs 12th, Russo 13th, Maricali from Aix-en-Provence 14th, Leinhardt 15th, we've got a Stiernemann is 17th, Ruig 18th, Comenelli is 19th, and Marius Kiel is 20th. So the Polish rider in 20th spot at the moment. Murray has put, again, on this climb. He's really using the sections of this course to his advantage. Always good on the power climbs is Francis Murray. And it's a shame we don't have a camera around the on-the-road climb. But as we said, he's been a World Cup winner on the Namur Citadel. And he's really using that power on that road climb around the back of the circuit to his advantage. Running that section, Bertolini.
Yeah, we're trying to get the following riders captured by the camera. Most of the uphill in the grass.
So Weber goes now, and nice section there by Sascha Weber.
Weber catched up a lot in the last 2 laps. Weber ahead of Bertolini, and then Chanel and Zahner still fighting for as many as possible points for the win in the GC.
So Zahner potentially can take this series overall. The local rider, the pressure on Simon Zahner, last winner back in 2008, whereas the last time it was held here. So if he could take the EKZ CrossTour overall, that would be good for him.
Johan Jacobs here, big in picture with the new clothes from the new season, new year.
Again, another very talented young Swiss rider is Jacobs. He's been riding well in the World Cups.
Yeah, he needs to grow a little. He's in the youngest tier in the under-23 category, but he was up in the juniors top 5 on pretty much all the World Cups, and I guess also in the World Championships. Interesting to see now Murray crashed twice in around this tree here and is now running this part. Doesn't want to crash again, and maybe we get a little closer look to his face, how focused he needs to be on this downhill, and how bumpy it is to get down this very steep
He's
downhill.
definitely looking a little bit more in control than he was on that opening lap.
He looks a little easier than before. Guess he knows about his big gap to the second place, which is 30 seconds now to Sascha Weber on top of the hill.
And then there's a small gap back to Bertolini. Weber on the descent. Again, there's just the off camber as well. You can just see everyone trying to stop themselves, just sliding out. It's, there was when it was drier, the sort of ability to just control your slide, but now it's just trying to, get down safely. Chanel.
Places 2, 3 and 4 very close together. Everything open there. Everyone is trying to not make any mistakes. Seems Simon Sonner had a little problem there in the descent again.
So Zana on the back end of this race here today, everything to fight for. He won't want to as well. There's not only local pride being from this area, but also he won't want to see this series go to a Frenchman.
Yeah, of course. He wants to keep the Swiss money in Switzerland and also getting the trophy of the overall series winner. He needs to calculate which position he needs to make at least to get the leader jersey ahead of Marcel Wildhaber. Marcel won't finish the race, but Simon still needs a good final position to be able to get the overall win.
We'll do some calculations for you. So we'll just update on our Twitter feed as well, is that unfortunately Marcel Wildhaber is out of the race. He will come round this time with 3 laps remaining is Francis Moret. An exemplary display of cross today from Francis Moret. The Frenchman goes through. So again, for the Fortunaire Vital Concept team, this will be a great start to the season for them.
Very hard geared Francis Moret. He has about 60-65 per minute, which is almost the half of Sasha Weber you see here, and even he is not really pedaling as a roadie.
It was something we said earlier in terms of using the arena to recover, but it's not that way at all. So going through at the moment, here's Simon Zana. You can see digging really deep here, the EKZ rider. The local man is chasing Steve Chanel just in front of him. Simon Zana is sitting in 5th place at the moment, but it's 29 seconds at the head of the race that separates Francis Moret from Sasha Weber. Choele Bertolini in 3rd is 29. Steve Chanel is at 41. Simon Zana at 44. And then it's 51 seconds back to Lars Forster of BMC mountain bike team. Wojciech Nippel still up there in 7th. The Czech rider Thomas Paprska is still in 8th. Severin Sargesser is 9th. And Florian Vogel just dropping to 10th this time. But Dieter van Turenhout is hanging in there strong in 11th place. And just ahead of his young teammate Johan Jacobs, just 5 seconds separating him and Jacobs at the moment.
Yeah, Florian Vogel lost more than a half a minute in just 1 lap, so he must have had a very, very big problem. We'll see what he's going to do, if he's trying to catch up again or if he's just finishing the race and where he is. Definitely, as he pointed out in the interview before the race, his main focus is not on this race but on the mountain bike season. But I know the mountain bikers well enough from my time as a racer. They always say, "Oh, cyclo-cross is only for training," but at the end they are going all in the races because they are races and they don't give anything away as a gift for anybody.
So we said this is the 5th and final round. Our overall leader, Marcel Wildhaber, sadly out after a crash. The first round taken back in by Lawrence Fiek. Round 2 in Dielsdorf by Clement Venturini. Round 3 hit now by David van der Poel. The last round, a battle between Marcel Wildhaber and Choele Bertolini. And Francis Moret has been on the podium many times throughout this one. And at the moment, the way this is looking when he comes around next time with 2 to go, it looks like Francis Moret could take the 5th and final round, but will he take the general classification in this season's EKZ Cross Tour?
Yeah, we'll see. We heard from Dieter van Tornhout. He wants to try to catch Francis Mura in the overall, which seems to be very impossible today. Sasha Weber here, he's moving up quite good. He had for some reason a very bad start, which is unusual for him. Maybe a little tired legs from the Christmas period, too many races. I don't know. Slippery here for Steve Channel, even in the run-up running, can't almost be on his legs anymore.
I know we said it a little bit earlier, so excuse me if I repeat myself, but if you weren't with us earlier, and in terms of Swiss cyclo-cross, the Swiss are very well known for the mountain bike scene. Again, you have such a massive history in cyclo-cross as well. You had such a fantastic career, and you only retired 4 years ago. You raced the last part of your career in the US, but this series and this scene is really growing. And Christian Rocha, the organizer, was saying that he really sees this as a series for all the countries that are around Switzerland because of its position within Europe, without having to travel all the way to the north to Belgium. And I can say from just being here today, and this being the first time I've been here to the EKZ series, I mean the course, the organisation, the riders, the way everyone's racing, and seeing best riders in the world racing like this. This is again definitely the place to come. Long may it continue. It's been fantastic.
Yeah, we heard Pavla Havlikova in her victories interview for the overall victory. She was very surprised about how cyclocross is in Switzerland. She was surprised about the venue. She was impressed about the infrastructure on every race, and I'm sure on some point the EKZ Cross Tour will make it more interesting to foreign riders, just because cyclocross in Belgium is more or less held for the Belgian riders and not so interesting for most of the others. And there is another series now in Switzerland which is on very good level and with good money, which is not unimportant, on nice venues, and they don't need to travel all the way to Belgium. For Czech riders it's easier to Switzerland, for Italian riders, French riders, most of the French riders for sure. Yeah, back to the race here. Lars Forster, one of the young guns, mountain biker, former European champion, I guess, Swiss champion cyclocross, very well in the descent, and here Francis Mouret, very strong here, hammering on the field through the second pit part, not giving away any second to these.
We've got to remember as well, there's a French round of the World Cup to come as well. So Mouret, he'll be looking to hone his form, ready to try and to get another victory in front of a home crowd in a World Cup.
Yeah, he's I guess he's still motivated. He still has in his mind to another world's podium, or maybe even the world champion title, which I think is probably not possible anymore for him. But it looks like today he's back on his form from his very best years. Coming now to the athletics track.
So going through, they're going to get 2 laps to go. This time Mouret is on to the track.
Steady.
Sasha Weber was behind him. We saw him having a couple of slides going down, but Mouret now with 2 laps to go this time. Francis Mouret leads through. 2 laps to go for the Frenchman. 2 laps to go, and he will head out. So he's got this race very much under control at the moment. 44 minutes and 41 seconds of racing so far. His last lap, about 7:35 for his last lap.
Only 5 seconds slower than the lap before, so he's still very consistent in his lap times. Shows he's still on the course with good legs and focused enough to finish this race.
Sasha Weber goes through next. And he just crosses the line. So 32 seconds. Sasha Weber is really consistent here as well, just ahead of Bertolini.
Yeah, he's doing same lap times as Frosty Murray. Frosty Murray had a 7:35, Sasha Weber a 7:37. Of course, won't be fast enough for the win, but anyway, he's keeping up there.
And we're getting a real charge here by Lars Forster, now up to 5th place for the BMC mountain bike racing team rider, and his lap times as well. I mean, he's 7:39.4 was his last lap, and that's pushing Simon Zana down to 6th place at the moment. He's just gone through the finish line with Wojciech Nippel, and he's at 1:14 at the moment, Simon Zana. And then Florian Vogel goes through in 8th, Paprika 9th and 7th, and Sargessa rounding out the top 10 at the moment with Dieter van Turenhout. And a little gap now, just back between them, Clement Rousseau and the Johan Jacobs. Chanel just goes out of the picture. There's your leader here at the moment. So for most of the race today, Francis Murray has been very much in control. Over the planks this time for Murray. So you can see quite close together the planks. We had some bunny hopping going on earlier in the race, but it's very, very muddy out there. Up through these turns, so he heads back on to the climb. He is going to get quite a white welcome sound the next time he comes around. So 6 laps completed so far. So he's still out there as well. We're just seeing quite a few riders starting to get lapped now out on the circuit. Murray dismounts once again for the steep run-up. And each lap now, Murray not taking any chances at all. And here's Sasha Weber, and Weber is really charging down, glances across, and he wants the 2nd spot on this podium, does the champion system rider. Bertolini was 13 seconds down on Sasha Weber on the, as they went through the start-finish line. The previous lap is just coming up to lap Adrian Meyer.
Sasha Weber here in the uphill. He looks very strong.
I haven't seen Sasha Weber look this good for quite a while, so starting the year nice and strong.
Usually he's a specialist for very fast races, but he has the good legs on today.
So as we said, proper cyclo-cross conditions. These are the days when your proper inner cross rider comes out, isn't it?
Yeah, I haven't been on all the cyclo-cross races in Switzerland this season, but a guy told me this morning it's the first race the whole cyclo-cross season in Switzerland where they need to switch bikes really.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like in the old days.
Proper cross conditions, as we say. So we're getting a leader graphic here. It's not our leader here at the moment. Just going through that. One of our back markers just been picked up. Francis Murray won't be far from there, and there he is. There's our leader, just dismounted again, going through there. So that top section again, Murray, and again you can see although the top of that descent was stretched out, as you pull it that close to the tree, as we keep saying, as the tree roots become more and more exposed, there's just the surprises that just spring up as the racing goes on, especially when the corner's that tight, isn't it?
Yeah, the experienced riders, they try part 2-3 times, and if they see it's too difficult, they just run it to not lose the time because of a crash, and then they get up on the bike as quick as possible anymore. And it seems there is a pretty good line after going around the tree to kind of doing the whole crossing the whole downhill and having a straight right after. Sascha Weber here in the very slippery part, lower part of the descent.
So the German is in second place here and chasing that second spot on the podium nicely. He just controls there. You just saw Sascha Weber there just breaking the back wheel, sliding it out behind him. Shows that skill, that beautiful skill of a top cross rider as he just slid that back wheel out around that bottom turn just to control it. Where's Bertolini? There's Bertolini.
Bertolini slippering around, and I guess it looked like Lars Forster closed the gap to position 3 on the race with Bertolini, Chanel, and now Lars Forster in 3rd position.
So we've got a nice little battle emerging here for the 3rd spot on the podium, and Florian Vogel still coming back as well, maybe up there. And Wojciech Nippel is going through, was 6th on the previous lap, but Francis Moret is on to the path. So if we get that group coming in for a sprint on the final lap, this section here is going to be particularly interesting.
Yeah, for sure. For place 2 in the race here, Francis Moret seems already to be safe, at least if he's getting through the last 1 and a bit laps. No problem with his bikes. He will for sure win this race. But on position 2, 3 and 4 it's going to be very, very interesting, and we're maybe also going to see a nice sprint finish.
Francis Moret now heads back onto the athletics track. He will get the welcome sound of the bell as he comes around. This time Moret is out of the saddle at the top of the athletics track. You can see he comes around into the finishing straight this time for the penultimate time. So Francis Moret now has to just keep it upright on this final lap. Bell lap this time for Moret, so the leader goes through. The big question is, has Simon Zana, can he pull back any places on the final lap to try and take the series? Disastrous final ride by for Marcel Wildhaber, sadly crashing out the overall leader. So where is the green jersey as the winner of this season's EKZ CrossTour? Where is that going? And Sascha Weber is chasing strong in 2nd place.
Sascha Weber, 2nd position, fighting very good, consistent lap times now for him.
So just 0.5 of a second slower than Moret, so right on track with Moret ahead of him. Sascha Weber, 31.5 seconds is the time gap between Weber and Moret. Moret, you can just see looking around, looking across, seeing where Sascha Weber is. There's Weber just going through your picture. Here's Bertolini. Bertolini gets a bell this time, and Forster is right behind him. Steve Chanel is there as well. Chanel goes through. And where is Simon Zana?
Yeah, we had Lars Forster in 4th position.
Then Wojciech Nippel goes through. Zana's just gone through the start-finish line this time. So Simon Zana has got to keep himself up there in terms of points. 30 points separating Zana and Moret at the moment in the general classification here in the EKZ CrossTour.
We had Florian Vogel next, and Dieter van Turenhout, Severin Segesser, Lukas Flöckiger also passed here the finish line with 1 lap to go, with only a gap of 2 minutes for him. Then Jan Jacobs coming next. It's category 1 race today, UCI Cat 1 race today, so UCI points for the first 15 places, which is not unhelpful for the young riders to get a little bit better start position. They need to fight for every point to move up in the start grid.
Moret on the climb once again. The Frenchman so strong. Starts 2016 with a great form in those legs with the final rounds of the UCI Cyclo-cross World Cup to come. On to the run-up again. So the French World Cup comes on the 17th of January, then the final one in Hoogerhead on the 24th. So a couple of weeks for Francis Moret to keep and build on this form before he goes into his home round of the World Cup.
You see Sascha Weber here, little smaller gear in the up, ride up, then down from the bike and trying to keep as much as more possible of his momentum to get up the run up.
And you can see some of our back markers. There's a lot of fatigue in this. It's a tough course.
Yeah, see how slick it is there.
It's just lap after lap, that climb around the back of the circuit really takes its toll on the legs, just snaps off the legs each time. So now we got 3 riders vying for positions for the 3rd spot on the podium. Lars Forster, Steve Chanel and Wojciech Nippel. That is the, with Ciueli Bertolini, my apology, that is the 3 riders now who are fighting for the 3rd spot on the podium. Are we going to have a sprint finish on the athletics track? We could well have that. That's we said the scenario that we wanted, going through this final section onto the athletics track if we could, and a sprint finish maybe for 3rd place. But here comes Simon Zana, the home rider, chasing here, 2nd overall in the general classification, 7th at the moment for the EKZ team rider. And can he manage to pull back any riders in front of him? One final big effort by Simon Zana. Could he pull back? It could just pull back maybe 1 place in front of just a few points. Could be a big difference. But Moret is on the descent once again. So the Frenchman heading back down towards the arena for the final time.
As careful as possible, not risking too much anymore. He has a gap of 35 seconds, lead of 35 seconds over Sascha Weber, so he can take it a little easier.
So he'll breathe a huge sigh of relief now at the bottom of that descent. Sascha Weber, you can see here, is just a couple of turns higher up on the descent. And there's the German, and he's opting to run it this time, so not making any mistakes, but his legs going from under him. So Sascha Weber here.
Not very often seen running a descent and then having the bike shouldered. I always prefer to have my bike on the ground to use it as a little bit, keeping the balance a little easier.
Yeah, we saw that with some of our back markers a little while ago, didn't we? The legs can just run away from you. You don't want that. I know he's trying to, in his head, think, I don't want anyone to come back. But look at this chase as well, because he doesn't want Lars Forster to pounce on him as well. So Forster is really throwing himself down at this final descent in a chase of Sascha Weber. Bertolini and Nippel. Bertolini goes down. Chanel runs past, so Bertolini goes down on that final quarter, shakes his head, does the Italian.
Yeah, a little too much risk in the last lap. Forster is very well known to be riders with good last laps.
Francis Moret now heads into the running section here. This is a little running track that they use, the bark, and he'll just hop from side to side and head in towards the athletics track.
I just heard very bad news from Marcel Wildhaber. He seems to have a broken ankle from his crash, so absolutely
disastrous finish. So we wish him well. We really wish Marcel Wildhaber well. That's not what he would want. and not what Francis Murray would want if he takes the title here. But Francis Murray, what a great performance by the Frenchman. Starts 2016 in emphatic fashion. Francis Murray rounds the final turn, sits up, salutes the crowd. A victory here in Meilen in round 5 of the EKZ CrossTour. Francis Murray takes it for Fortuner Vital Concept, and the race goes to France.
And he's followed by his son to give him the clothes, the dry clothes for the podium later on.
And here comes Sascha Weber. Great performance by the German as well from Champion System, and he rounds that final corner as well. And he comes on second spot on the podium here today for Sascha Weber of Germany. Great performance by him. And where is third place? We saw them coming down the descent. We're looking around, and Forster is onto the track. Is it going the way of the BMC rider? It looks like it is. And Lars Forster, what a race he has put in today by the BMC mountain bike racing team. A rider threw himself down that final descent, takes the third spot on the podium. Third goes to Forster. Wojciech Dippel takes 4th. Steve Chanel takes 5th. That is your top 5. Steve Chanel takes 6th. And a great race we have had here this afternoon in Meilen. Hope you've enjoyed that around the world. Make sure that you stay with us for our podium presentations, and you better hear from our winner as well. We'll just count them down. Charlie Bertolini in 6th. Simon Zana takes 7th. Florian Vogel in 8th place. Diet van Turenhout takes 9th. 7th. Sarges takes 10th. So 1 hour, 12 minutes, and 1 hour exactly 12 seconds is the time of Francis Murray. 7 minutes and 50 seconds that final lap for him. He takes it by 34 seconds ahead of Sascha Weber and Lars Forster at 1 minute and 3.
We got the point standing for the overall classification. Francis Murray snaps the overall victory with 289 points, just ahead of Simon Zahner with 284 points. On third position, unconfirmed, Steve Chanel, another French guy, last year's winner. Clément Venturini not at the start today because of a sickness, but Francis Murray really had a great race today and is a deserved winner of this first edition on the new course of the EKZ CrossTour in Meilen.
Great, really has been a spectacular day's racing. Again, don't forget, you can go back and watch the women's race as well. You can go back and watch that. That's there for you to watch. So make sure you take advantage. We haven't given any spoilers away, so if you do want to go back and watch that, go back and check that out now. So we'll count you down from at 10th. So 11th, 7th, Sarges, Tomo Paprska 12th, Johan Jacobs 13th, Clement Rousseau 14th, Anthony Marocale 15th, Fabian Leinhardt 16th, Marius Gill in 17th. That's the top 17 at the moment. On 18th, Lucas Winterberg. And as soon as I get 19th and 20th, I will give you those, and we'll give you our top 20 overall. Matthias Sternemann 19th, and Martin Haring takes 20th. So that's the top 20 overall. Here we go. Here's our top 10. So Francis Murray takes that ahead of Sascha Weber, with Lars Forster in third at 104. Wojciech Nippel takes 4th. Steve Chanel takes 5th. Joelle Bertolini 6th. Simon Zahner 7th. Florian Vogel 8th. Lucas Flukiger there takes 9th. Dieter van Turenhout takes 10th. So Lucas Flukiger came through strong there as well. So a couple of the BMC mountain bike riders putting that skill, as you said they would, to good use.
Yeah, I guess a good nose for this result with Forster doing well, with Flückiger doing good, Vogel did well. Yeah, all the mountain bikers they are getting in contention for nationals in a good week. See here the other way to clean your face on the pit.
It helps with your kit as well, doesn't it? Give yourself a quick power wash.
At least he doesn't use the power washer for his face.
It does. If you get your kit clean as well that way, it does save your washing machine at home sometimes, doesn't it?
But I don't know why he cleaned his shoes before he's going through the mud now here again. Needs to clean the shoes again. Anyway, he's healthy. Not unlucky like Master Wildhaber with the broken ankle today, second or third lap only.
Yeah, I mean we really wish him well. So our hearts go out to Marcel Wildhaber. That's disastrous start to the year. We really wish him well. I hope he recovers quickly and heals fast.
I still hope it's not as bad as the rumors go now. Broken bones are quickly recognized, but I hope pictures made in the hospital or so will confirm something less bad for him, so he can finish the season and of course getting in running shape again for upcoming weekend.
So Dieter van Torenhout cleaning his own bike off there?
Yeah, that's for sure unusual for a Belgian riders. Usually they go to the mobile home, drop all their clothes, and then they have about 10 people staying around the mobile home and cleaning bikes and wheels and shoes and clothes and everything, and they take a warm shower only a minute or two after finishing the race. But it's nice to see guys like Dieter van Torenhout coming to Switzerland and trying something else here, even if it is probably not as easy for them as it is in their home country.
I mean, he said it himself on his interview before the start that this hill, this is very, I know we talked about the sort of more sort of World Cup course, but he said this is quite an unusual sort of course for him.
Yeah, and he comes to Switzerland. The first thing he sees is the course on a climb, which is of course they have some climbs with Koppenberg or Gavere or other races in Belgium, but he did Eschenbach and was surprised about the descent, and now he's in Meilen and he was surprised about the uphill and downhill again. Probably it looks for him now it happens on almost every race in Switzerland.
Yeah, so if you've enjoyed, I hope you're on our coverage here today. Remember, follow at EKZ CrossTour on Twitter. Keep track for, hopefully, for next winter, where we'll be able to come back and bring you more. But if this is your first view of cyclo-cross, I hope you've enjoyed it. If it's your first view of Swiss cyclo-cross, as you can see, you got some of the best riders in the world. We had it in our women's race earlier on today. We had some of our best up-and-coming young riders coming through as well as we've had here in our elite men's race as well. So, really hope you've enjoyed that. I know the riders are just getting themselves cleaned up for the podium. You can just about see the lake in the background, but this is our overall standings here of the series. So, given Marcel Wildhaber at the top. This is, we'll check that one out. That was before going into today's.
Yeah, we definitely have other informations here with Frosty Murray as overall winner with 298 points ahead of Simon Sonner with 284 points, and then Steve Schnell 239 points. Oh no, there is Dieter van Torenhout with 247, so Dieter van Torenhout on third position and Schnell probably on fourth position. But anyway, we'll have some final classification, confirmed final classification for you within a minute or two.
So you can see all the riders just getting themselves cleaned up. Thanks for all your tweets as well and interaction on the EKZ CrossTour. Remember, get on there as well. You'll be able to. There's competitions that you can win as well. So get on there. There's been lots going on. Our guys that are running that Twitter feed have done a fantastic job on that. So good job on there. So check it out. So we're going to have a quick interview with Lars Forster of the BMC mountain bike racing team.
Lars, herzliche Gratulation. Wirklich eine riesen Überraschung, Platz 3 EKZ CrossTour in Meilen. Hättest du das erwartet heute Morgen?
Erwarten nicht, aber ich habe es erhofft. Ich habe mich wirklich gut gefühlt. Meine Form geht steil aufwärts jetzt. Noch mal ein bisschen auf die SM an, ist tipptopp. Und heute hat einfach nur Spass gemacht. Es war ein richtiges Querrennen.
Du sagst, es ist ein richtiges Querrennen. Ab welchem Moment hast du gemerkt, ich kann aufs Podest fahren?
Ja, ich habe eigentlich nie einen richtig grossen Abstand auf das Podest. Die Fahrer da vorne nie mehr gesehen. Eigentlich habe ich immer versucht, ein bisschen vorne zu pushen. Bin aber auch mehrmals am Boden gelegen. Aber ja, nachher dann sicher in der drittletzten Runde habe ich gesehen, ja, es liegt drin.
Merci vielmals, Gratulation.
Merci.
Little muddy. Lars Forster just ahead of the podium ceremony. He hoped to be good today, but didn't expect the podium finish. He also said his form is strong, coming better and better, and he's in perfect form for becoming perfect form for Swiss nationals, and he's looking forward for nationals.
And let's quickly go across and hear from today's winner, Francis Mouret.
Francis, félicitations, une grande victoire pour toi et je pense que tu es vraiment content avec ça.
Ouais, aujourd'hui je suis content, je suis très heureux d'avoir gagné aujourd'hui le cyclo-cross de Meilen pour moi et aussi pour ma nouvelle équipe, Fortunio Vital Concept. Et aujourd'hui, je peux encore faire une saison avec eux et j'en suis très, très heureux. Je remercie cette équipe, Emmanuel Hubert, de me faire confiance cette année. J'espère leur apporter encore des succès. Et aujourd'hui, je suis très content. Cette victoire est très bien. Elle est pour moi, la forme est bonne. La semaine prochaine, c'est le championnat de France. Et cette victoire donne entièrement confiance pour moi. Et c'est pour remercier aussi tout mon public, tous ceux qui croient en moi, ma nouvelle équipe, et j'espère qu'il y en aura d'autres.
Tes impressions du parcours, c'était vraiment dur, non?
Ouais, c'était très dur. Hier, j'ai couru au Luxembourg, c'était aussi dur qu'aujourd'hui. Aujourd'hui, c'était très dur. J'appelle ça des cyclo-cross à l'ancienne, c'est les cyclo-cross que j'aime. Les cyclo-cross, on va dire, maintenant qu'on nous propose, c'est beaucoup des vire-vire, des relances autour des piquets, alors qu'aujourd'hui, c'est vraiment très dur. C'est des crosses à l'ancienne comme je les aime bien, des compétitions très difficiles. Aujourd'hui, je suis très heureux d'avoir gagné.
Marcel Wildhaber, le leader, il est tombé, il est blessé. Maintenant, c'est toi qui gagne l'overall de l'EKZ CrossTour. C'est la victoire du classement général. Qu'est-ce que c'est pour toi? C'est important?
Ouais, c'est important. Je ne savais pas, tu me l'apprends, que j'ai gagné l'EKZ. C'est pour moi ce que vous réalisez ici avec l'EKZ Tour. C'est fantastique, c'est une très belle épreuve. L'année passée, je crois qu'il y avait 4 épreuves. Cette année, il y en a 5. Vous avez un très beau plateau. Vous proposez des très beaux circuits. Les organisations, c'est au top. Moi, quand je vous vois l'organisation que vous avez, vous, en Suisse, et j'espère qu'en France, on peut avoir un aussi beau challenge. On a un très beau challenge avec la France cycliste. Mais malheureusement, on n'a que 3 épreuves. Vous en avez 5. Et nous, les coureurs français, on se bat pour essayer d'avoir 5-6 épreuves chez nous en France. Vous y arrivez, vous avez une très belle épreuve. Et aujourd'hui, accrocher le EKZ Tour à mon palmarès, j'en suis super heureux. Et voilà, j'en suis super content. Et j'espère que l'année prochaine, je reviendrai pour essayer de défendre mon maillot.
Félicitations, bravo. Maintenant, nous sommes prêts pour la cérémonie.
Shall I let you have a go at translating that one?
Yeah, French is not my favorite language,
He
but
was talking a bit quick for me.
at least I got a little of his
A little
phrases.
was fine.
No, he's super happy with his victory, and he's also thankful to his new team, and says he's super satisfied to bring already a victory in the second day of the new year for his new team. Also, he compared the EKZ Tour, EKZ CrossTour with the French cyclo-cross cup, and thinks it's a good platform in both countries to grow our sport in each of the countries.
Fantastic. And here is your general standing, as you saw. So just confirmation there. Francis Moret taking the series victory. And after Marcel Wildhaber crashing out, we do hope that the injuries aren't as bad as have been reported. But we are on to the podium. And in third place today, in the EKZ CrossTour, Lars Forster of the BMC mountain bike racing team. And he said he had fun, spoken like a true mountain biker. So great day's racing for him. He didn't expect to be on the podium, but a well-deserved podium place for Lars Forster after that ride in real difficult conditions here in Meilen.
Second for Sascha Weber here on just finishing the race.
Sascha Weber pushed it strong. His lap times were really, really good, on par a lot of the time with Francis Moret, and he takes a very strong and well-deserved second place in Meilen today for Champions System. And here he is, Sascha Weber.
Full neon clothes.
Can never have too much neon.
Nice flowers on the second day of the new year. Last but not least, Francis Moret. The whole race is announced by Christian Heule, director of the EKZ Racing Tour.
Has done a fantastic job, Christian Heule, over the last 2 seasons to bring this and build this series, and now we're streaming it live around the world. And there is your winner, top step of the podium today for his new team, Fortunato Vito Concept. Francis Moret of France takes the victory here in the EKZ CrossTour.
Also on the podium, Thomas Scheurer, director of the local organization, with a nice trophy. I think I saw it something out of chocolate. I'm not sure, but it looked like it's something nice out of chocolate.
Chocolate trophy.
Chocolate trophy.
I'd expect nothing else as an outsider. There you go, one more time. There's your 1, 2, 3. Francis Moret, Sascha Weber, and Lars Forster. And we will now see the presentation of the green jersey as the series winner. And Francis gives his flowers and chocolate to his helper. Best backup team you can get, your kids, isn't it?
My kids in the first row here, podium ceremony, almost looked like they are waiting for me, as in the past.
And there is your series winner, so pulling on the EKZ CrossTour final green jersey of the series. Big handshake. There is your series winner, Francis Moret. Well, all I can say is what a great day's racing we have had. I hope you have enjoyed it around the world. I'm sure you'll join me in thanking Christian Heule, his first time in the commentary box. What a fantastic job he has done. I'm sure you'll thank me for his expertise and his insights. So from me, Marty MacDonald and Christian Heule alongside me, have a fantastic day. We'll leave you with the highlights. Bye for now.
Thank you very much for watching us.